Hi. So, you clicked here wondering what is CH brutal mode charts. It's quite easy to explain really. First of all, what is brutal mode? So brutal mode was introduced in Rock Band 4, and instead of trying to explain it, I'll let them explain it with the trailer that they made.
Brutal mode!
Where'd all the notes go? Rock Band's all-new Brutal Mode will put even the most hardcore players to the test. The better you play, the harder it gets. Brutal!
I had the idea just by watching somebody play a lot of Clone Hero, and I was thinking, what if we took Rock Band's Brutal Mode, somehow got it into Clone Hero? So the only way of doing that right now is with background videos. And I thought, can't be that hard, can it? If you just have a transparent highway, same note speed, you just record a bot playing it and then put some transparency on it. Easy enough. So the first chart I made was for a streamer called Jamface. And I asked him, what's your favourite Dragon Force song? Because he's a fairly decent player, we'll put it that way. And he said Tomorrow's Kings. So I went ahead and did that. I sent it to him once it was done. It included a few memes because it was supposed to be only for him. So there's his face spinning in it, which he reacted to with a huge grin. Just look at that face. I then sent it to someone else who I wasn't expecting the reaction. I can understand people not liking these types of charts, but you don't have to be a dick about it. Just say, no, I don't want to play this, and I'll understand completely. I'm not going to mention any names, but you know who you are. I then sent this to another streamer called Cloudy95, and he absolutely loved it. He was laughing the whole way through, and that really gave me motivation to make some more.
What the heck was that? This is so much fun! Leafy, we need more charts like this, please! Please be our savior and bring Brutal Mode into Clone Hero, please!
So I did. Once I sent them to Cloudy again, one of his viewers told me to send it to UKOG, because apparently he really, really likes Brutal Mode. After doing that, I found out that he was streaming an hour later. An hour after I sent him the charts, he was already streaming them. He was playing them, and he played them for a good hour. So that whole hour I was buzzing, because I'm not used to people playing what I make and liking what I make. So it's really, really interesting. So I'm a dumbass and forgot to say some things in the video, in the intro. So UKOG playing these charts made me realise that A, this is a means of helping people discover new songs and charts that they like to play. And B, something also interesting is that not seeing all the notes somehow makes you concentrate more, and you're better at the game somehow. I don't know.
I'm blown out. Oh yeah.
A couple of hours pass and they see Acai goes live with maybe Brutal Mode in his title. I didn't send him the charts. He was watching Jamface with me and he saw that and thought, I need to get those charts, and he went on my YouTube and found them, I guess. That was one crazy, crazy night. So, yeah. Now, as I said earlier, the only way of doing this with Clone Hero is background video. So now we're going to teach you how to make those. So the idea is to have a background video which shows just the parts of the notes that you want to play. So what you'll need for that, I use After Effects, you can use whatever you want, I'm just showing you how I do it, and then you can use that in whatever program you want. All you need is your song, so I'm choosing to do Entrance by Ice, which is charted by Sickliff. You also need, obviously, Clone Hero. OBS is easiest, and if you do exactly what I do, you'll need Moonscraper, because I also add a little section name there at the end, just so that Clone Hero doesn't count it as duplicate. I also change stuff here, I just add brutal mode to the title and the genre, so that you can find them all in one if you need to. I would definitely not recommend changing the charter since you didn't do any of the charting yourself. If you did, then good job, because charting is hard. So what you'll need to do is go to Clone Hero, just set yourself up as a bot with a transparent highway. Note speed, I try and be kind of for everyone, so 12 seems to be something that everybody is able to play. It changes a bit compared to real gameplay here. So you'll need your OBS. Just make sure that in your recording you can do straight to MP4, but I'd recommend sticking to MKV, because if you have an interruption then MP4 will just be corrupted, whereas MKV can kind of recover from that. You'll need a bitrate, I'd say 6000 is good, because there's not that much moving, so you don't need too much. Just make sure that your game isn't using a background, so that you're just a black background, so no background image here. And then you just play your song. So here we'll set up a scene in OBS, just so that you can see how to do it from scratch. So the only thing you'll need is a game capture that you can stick onto a specific window of Clone Hero. That's the only thing you need to do. And you just let the bot play and record that. Once that's recorded, the problem with After Effects is that it doesn't support MKV importing, so all we'll have to do is go to Remux, select our MKV, and then we can easily convert it to MP4, and we'll just call it Notes for now. So that's all you need from your game and from OBS. Now we'll just pick up this video, this MP4 one, throw it into After Effects, and pre-compose it. So once you've pre-composed that, you just need to add a stroke. Click here for the rectangle tool, fill in black, stroke, shouldn't really matter, but put black anyway, 0 pixels, just that way we can hide these two elements that we don't need to show. You'll need to be sure to cut off the right parts of the video, so once you get here, the very first thick strike line, try and get that to go right underneath the black part here, and then just cut your video there. Move that up, and then that should make it sync up perfectly when you start the game. From there, pretty simple. Turn the sound off, and then I use a little effect called linear wipe. Put that on here, set it to a 0 angle, 50 feather, and then adjust it to wherever you want to fade into. I use roughly between 45 and 50, I'd say. So for this one we'll just go in between both and do 47.5. Then you can just check along. If 3 notes is generally nice to have on screen at one time, and then you should be fine with that. If you want to do what I do with the rainbow effect, it's very simple. I shall show you by disabling this effect so that you can see all the notes. It's just an effect called hue saturation. Stick it on there, and then from wherever you want to start, you can put a keyframe here, and then you can add, for example, 50 rotations, and that will simply cause, between those two sections, a nice little hue shift effect like this. it shouldn't affect the sides too much, but it's definitely visible on the notes. And when you have the other effect in, it just gives this, which is pretty nice. That looks a bit too much to me, so I'm just gonna set this to 50. And take the saturation off because there are no solo sections. And then from there, all you have to do, composition, add to render queue, render it as H.264, disable audio, make sure this is about 6 megabit, put it into your song folder called video, and render that. Once that's done rendering, just throw it into your game, rescan your songs, and with a bit of luck, it should just sync up.